All right, we got a really important way to start the meeting. It's an important vote. We always start with cultural, we've got our mission, our vision, our values. So this is our belief. So we want you guys to be able to participate in this vote on who wore it better. Sorry, who wore it best.
So if you could please open up your Facebook and look at these pictures of both Tony, Jean Greco, and Jeff Nevin. If you're voting for Tony, please put an emoji of a house. If you're voting for Jeff, it's a thumbs down emoji. But it's a whole litany of great photos. So
you can vote for
you
can vote for whatever your heart tells you.
You better not vote for yours.
You know what I mean? I'm caught in the middle here.
We do want to thank and I don't know if I don't believe we have other veterans in our office, but I know Brittany Nelson served our country yesterday. We had Veterans Day, and I hope you guys took a chance to text, call, appreciate the veterans that you know in your life. And if you guys could, if you know Brittany or you have her number, just reach out and say thank you. And if there are veterans that we missed, please let us know immediately because we want to be sure to honor everyone. So now I give you 2 action items to do in like 30 seconds.
Yes.
All right, so we have talked about this before, and the deadline is coming up on Friday. Can you believe November 15th is Friday, by the way? So really, like, any deal that you get under contract after this week, you realize that odds are it's not going to close this year. So wherever you are in pendings and closings at the end of this week is pretty much what you're going to end the year at, right? Is that exciting news or is that sobering news? Okay. So what you're doing right now is going to show up right away at the beginning of next year. But we do have this blessing basket. This is an amazing idea. I think a lot of people want to give and want to give back and care. And it's hard to understand like how, like what do I specifically do? If you're like me, it's just like, tell me what to do and I'll do it. And so this is that opportunity we have. Chris Ruskowitz organizes the blessing baskets. She went and bought, you know how many baskets?
There's like 10 or 15 down there, and I will volunteer my services again. Last year, I know many of you wanted to participate but didn't have the time to do it, and so people just Venmoed me $50, and I went and got the gift card and did all the shopping. It was like, do you guys remember that show, like Supermarket Sweep?
Yeah.
Where you had like 25 cans of green beans. Like that's how I was. So if anybody wants me to do that, I'd be happy to take the heavy lift off of you and do it for you.
My mom will also do that too.
No one under 30 left at your go.
Who knows Supermarket Sweep?
Point taken. So this is a way to give back. It goes to the veterans. It goes to those that, that serve and that are in need. And it's just an amazing time of year to give back. Speaking of another opportunity, if you have been to these meetings or you know what's going on, we're doing a company-wide United Way donation. Big goal. It's an office competition. The best office gets a food truck. So if you don't like to give to people and you like food, well, now you can give for that reason. There also is a lot of prizes, and we don't have this slide here for the prizes, but did you guys all get the email or know the email I'm referencing? If you give $100, you get entered in to win certain things, or 500 or 1,000, and they're pretty nice prizes. So maybe we should follow up with just that slide because, I mean, it's always fun. It's fun to give, and it's even more fun to possibly receive something from your giving. I mean, if I'm being honest. So this is something that it's just a united front for United Way. And any questions on that? We do have some marketing and tech updates, some really specific things you can do right now in the moment. And I know the answer's on the screen, so it'll be easy. a top thing that you can do with this changes from the NAR lawsuit, one of the top lead gen strategies that's even more, it's trending to be even more, more people at open houses, more opportunity at open houses. Do you guys know why that is? What do you think a lot of buyers,
Can't have buyer's agent.
what?
You think they can't have buyer's agent?
Yes, so if you heard on the news, like as a human, not a realtor, because we're kind of robots, but if you heard on the news, you're outside of our industry, you know, you don't have to pay your agent, or 6% commission is gone, or any of these headlines that are happening, they think immediately they don't have to pay a buyer agent. So if you're in that mindset, what would you do? You go to an open house and see if you can work directly with the listing agent. And now in that case, it's up to us as skilled professionals to know what to say and know the value and know all of that as as a buyer agent. However, there's trending across the entire country. Open house attendance is at an all-time high. So this is a really good strategy if you haven't built it in to your business plan to do this. And I believe, Lindsay, are you on the call to explain what we can do in the
Yes.
system?
I am on. Can you hear me?
Yes, thank you.
Yay. Hi, everyone. Yeah, so if you guys haven't checked out these playbooks, there's about 14 of them that Keller Williams put together. They started putting these together a couple of years ago. And so I had just had some conversations with some other agents saying that, open houses are kind of ramping up again. They're starting to incorporate open houses into their lead generation. So I thought it was a great time to kind of bring these back up because the playbooks are essentially systems. And we always talk about systems, and now is the time of year where you kind of reevaluate your systems and think about which ones you should start implementing into your business and start planning for 2025. And I mean, all of these playbooks, they're designed to provide you with the model on how to run the most effective open house, and then also walk through step by step. And you're going to learn how to maximize your time and exposure for the listing you're holding open. And it's going to really walk through determining what house to open. So is it a house in your neighborhood? Is it a house in the community that you want to focus in, or maybe an area that you're farming? Determine or what marketing materials to create. Are you creating flyers, brochures? And then I think I have a little something covering this up on the slide, but I believe the next one is prepping for the open house and deciding, are you going to go door knocking? How are you going to promote the open house? And then actually holding the open house open. And then the follow-up. So, what are you doing to follow up with those people who are coming through, walking through the open house? So that QR code is going to take you into the folder with every single one of these playbooks. So download that PDF, take a look at it. If you're holding an open house, if you've, done quite a few and you just want to kind of tweak your process, it's a great tool to utilize. And if you have never held an open house, highly recommend checking out this playbook. It's going to tell you exactly what you need to do. And then the next slide is just a tool that you can use that's part of Command, and it's available for every single agent website, and that's creating a digital open house sign-in sheet. And when I say that you can create this in seconds, I literally mean you can create this in 2 seconds. So you're simply going to find the listing that you're holding open, and in the URL, you're going to hit click or type in /open house, hit enter. It's going to bring up this digital sign-in sheet that you see on the screen. When someone fills that out and hits submit, you're automatically going to get that contact into your Command database. So really, really simple way, if you have your computer or an iPad up, pull up this screen and then have them sign in. So really easy way to capture those people's information. The nice thing about this too for the consumer, so once they fill this out and submit, the next slide is going to show what is going to be shown after they submit it, and a QR code is going to show up. So they can scan that QR code on their phone and they're going to see all of the property information and photos. So it's kind of nice as they're walking through the open house, they kind of have that information right at the palm of their hand. You know, bedroom, bathroom count, square footage, all of those details from your website with the listing information. So it's a really, really nice tool. All right, and then I think switching gears a little bit here, I think the next slide. Yeah, so we've got a couple new 12 direct campaigns. So we're heading straight into that holiday season. So we've got Christmas tree farms, we've got holiday lights displays. Christmas tree farms, I think, open up in the next week or two. So great content to get out to your database. A lot of people enjoy, you know, cutting down their own Christmas tree, or you know, we've got a lot of really great holiday light displays throughout the Milwaukee area. So for you to be the one to share that information and get that out first and foremost to your sphere, I think is really beneficial. And you're providing a lot of great value to your clients and your database. And then a couple more slides, I think. Yeah, so we did have Headshot Day last week, Tuesday. So I just want to thank all of you who participated. You'll be getting an email from our team in the next couple of weeks with your headshot if you participated. But just want to give a shout out and thanks to Tom Barrett. He's the marketing manager on JSG. He took some great photographs, Stonehouse Collective in Shorewood for letting us utilize their beautiful space, and then Cheyenne with Coakley Brothers. She sponsored the event. So again, thank you to everyone who participated. And then finally, we do have tech and marketing training this week, Thursday on Zoom. And so we're going to be talking all about email campaigns and newsletters, how to create a monthly newsletter, what content to include. There's also a KW playbook for how to create a newsletter. So take a look at that, jump on our training this Thursday on Zoom. And so again, just a reminder, all of those are recorded and uploaded to our YouTube channel as well. So if you can't make it live on Thursday at 11, check it out afterwards. It's uploaded to YouTube shortly thereafter. And that's all I got, guys. Thank you.
Thanks, Lindsay. Just going back to the playbooks, I don't know if you guys have ever looked on the register, but they have the full playbook of like when they have mega camp or family reunion and all the speakers that they have up there and all the things they do to build their business. It's like a Bible in my business. I use that thing on an almost daily basis to run different plays, and it's like the quick and easy version of what they're doing. We use it a lot in our homegrown capper class too, to teach like 7th level open house, or how to get 10,000 followers on Instagram in a month, or how to get 100,000 followers on TikTok. And so like, if you haven't looked at it, I highly suggest that you look at it, purchase one, have it for your business. It's really effective. We use it often.
Cool. So Lindsay broke down 3 or so different things. So I want to just take them one by one really quick. So has anyone looked at the open house playbook? What are your thoughts? You know, like, don't listen to mom and dad here. What do the cool aunt and uncles have to say about it? Like, Therese, you've looked at it, or?
Yeah, we have volume 1 and volume 2 of the playbooks.
Okay.
And I mean, I think, first of all, the playbooks are amazing, but they can be really overwhelming.
Yeah.
So I feel like if you are going to play the open house play or run that play or whatever play, I would just take it step by step and chunk it down to implement and then run the whole thing, because chances are it'll be so overwhelming that you're not going to do anything versus doing small incremental things to get you to the ultimate goal, whatever the end goal of that play is.
Yeah.
But it's great. I mean, just a shout out to the Emory podcast with Jason Abrams too. Like, if you sign up for their newsletter every single Thursday, they'll send you a playbook of whoever they interviewed for that day. And those are interesting and unique too. And there's a lot of playbooks that aren't included in volumes 1 and 2 of the playbook. So run the plays, but I would just say chunk them down to make them more achievable in order to run the whole thing. But I mean, all the plays.
Yeah. So your best advice is, oh my God, if you want to do everything, you're gonna do nothing.
Well, and I would also say this too, like, you don't have to run it to a T. Like, everybody's business is different, right? So there may be some things that you can, tweak and or add or subtract that makes sense for your specific business.
Yeah,
But the framework is there, right? It's really just about like that framework and following that framework, so you're not having to come up with everything from like scratch.
yeah. And just so you know, if anyone goes on stage at KW, in a KW event, they need to provide a one-page playbook on what they're talking about. So they can't just go up there and BS. And the people that go up on stage, do you think they're the best of that topic or just mediocre? So when it's mega camp, it's the mega agent doing, and it's specifically around that. So they'll have a panel of 3 people talking about open houses. Now the open house mega agents probably are terrible at calling FISBOs and throwing events and name the other sources, but they mastered the open house. So you can leverage things for free, and those are systems and models. The playbook is a model and a system that you can go in and leverage and say like, hey, what can I add this week? What can I add next week? What can I add to my yearly plan? But get really specific about what you want to do first, and then the playbook is there. That makes sense? So if you just want to see what it looks like, scan that QR code. If you want the QR code scanning playbook, talk to Jay Krickerberg. He can guide you in that avenue. But scan that, take a look at it, and if you added, I know the agents on our team, the focus has been open houses to the point of doing 2 to 4 to 5 a week. And businesses, like, they're getting people that are interested in buying. They're getting people that are interested in selling. It's not luck. It's just a numbers game. Then the other thing that she talked about, which was cool, is who would find value in a digital open house sign-in sheet? Okay. And these are things that Command and KW and everything are adding, every single day. So I didn't even know this existed. So if you want to look cool, you can have your iPad, you can have your laptop, and you can guide them to something digital, and then you just capture their information. Now, if they're working with an agent, would you still capture their information? Why would you still capture their information? Follow up with their agent? What other reasons? In case they fire, I like where you're thinking. In case they fire their agent, what other reasons? Okay. The orphan buyer. What else would it provide your seller? Starts with an S. Security or safety. So this is picture you did an open house and the prescription drugs went missing. Or I heard of a real life story that just happened here locally. Someone stole their kids' toys. Could you imagine like your kid crying to you as a seller and parent? Like, oh my God, someone stole my toys. And it happened at an open house. And your seller calls you and says, hey, who came through our open? And you'd say, oh, like they'll probably be pretty mad at you. Now that's not silly example. That's not an extreme example, but money, drugs, jewelry, not drugs, prescription drugs, those types of things, like that could be a big deal. And if you're a professional, the minimum thing you should know is like their name and number, first name, last name, just so security reasons. Wisconsin's one of the only states that doesn't require a photo ID to get into an open house. Do you know how much easier it would be if it was just standard that like, hey, what's your, give me your photo ID. It's security for the seller. So you can have that standard for your business. And even if they're working with an agent, the next question would be what? Yeah, I'm working with an agent. Then what would you say as an open house, as an agent holding an open house? Who's your agent? I mean, yeah, that's probably a little too strong. But yeah, what did you ask again? Say.
I just I'll ask if they're working with somebody, say yes, and then I have them write their name and then their agent's name.
Yes. Cause you know, if you just ask that question, they're like, Donald Duck, like, oh, so you're really not working with an agent. The other thing now is, do you know how many times buyers are signing something just to see a house? So what if they just sign something for a weekend? They sign something for the day. They sign something non-exclusive. So now more than ever, you could be like, oh, if you sign anything, are you aware? Like you could ask further questions because you're not trying to steal anyone that's under like an actual buyer agency. But if you ask clarifying questions, working with an agent could mean 12 different things right now. Does that make sense?
Mhm.
So this is what I would recommend if you want to stand out as an agent holding an open house, because there's about 7,000 of us around here, and there's probably about 6,200 of them that probably aren't super professional, you know, aren't to the level where they could be. And this is a fun fact. You realize that everyone we know, meaning everyone you know, judges you based on the worst realtor they know, or like the worst thing they hear about real estate on the news. So do you guys ever judge lawyers based on like the scummiest lawyer you know? Like, man, lawyers are just scummy. Or realtors, if it doesn't take a lot to get into our profession. So if you stand out a little bit, you'll stand out above the crowd. That makes sense? I'll get off my soapbox now. But I do think it's an amazing opportunity, especially after the lawsuit. I think the biggest positive that happened from the lawsuit is it's forcing us to act more professional and to say, hey, we should talk about how you're going to be represented. We should talk about how I get paid before, you know, you're spending weeks and weeks with them. So I think it's a good thing. And this is a good tool for your tool belt. Now, the last thing that you talked about is these little simple social media posts. Like social media can be daunting, right? But if you just copy this and just paste it, and then you'll get engagement. Like you don't have to think about it. So KW does a great job. They always have something that you can post or that you can mail. You shouldn't have to think about it. But I just wanted to like break those down a little bit because she covered a lot of great information. And if you want to just spend 1 hour and have your entire 2025 like email campaign set up, there's an option. It's stuff you can do that gives a huge, it's called ROT. Do you know what ROT is? Yeah, doesn't sound very cool, but return on time. So you spend an hour and you get a year's worth of activity done. So just wanted to kind of wrap the ribbon around that. And now we have Dawn.
Defender
Defender Dawn.
Oh,
Yeah, nice jobs.
nobody wants to clap for Scott.
Awesome. So I just like a couple things that we've been running into on the compliance line. Some of it is people trying to be nice to other people, I think, and working without a signed agreement. So not with clients, because people are doing a great job with that, but with other agents. So I'm hearing a lot about, hey, we had a verbal agreement for a referral, or hey, I was doing some showings for this person and then they were going to pay me when it closed and they have nothing in writing. So my advice to them and to you guys to keep you out of that situation is if you have an agreement with another agent that, hey, I'm going to help you out on this one, or hey, you know, here's this person's name, get something in writing right away. It's going to protect both of you and it's going to be really clear about what the actual agreement is. If you're sending a referral to somebody else, we're seeing a lot still of those mystery referral checks being received downstairs. Make sure that you are, when you're sending a referral out, you're sending our office's W-9 to the receiving agent, and then create an opportunity for that outbound referral. That way the front desk can link that referral check to you after it closes. So some people have said, hey, I don't know how to do that. So if you go in and you create an opportunity, you have that opportunity, you're in documents, pick your checklist type. If you scroll down to the bottom, there's a drop down for referral. So track all of your referrals. Also, maybe you've forgotten about some of the referrals you sent. This is a good way to keep track of If you are receiving a referral, make sure that you are uploading that referral agreement and sending agent's office W-9 to command. So that way, when it closes, we can pay them in accordance with your referral agreement. And then make sure that you're entering that referral into the commission tab. Do you guys have any questions about referrals? Yes.
So what if it's a referral from our office? Do I have to do the W-9?
No, you don't have to do the W-9 then. Correct. Good question. You could if you want, but you don't have. And then this is your continued reminder that continuing education and GMAR views are due. So that's, Sarah has probably been emailing you too, just like she's been
Who still
emailing
has
me.
to do them? Who still has to do continuing ed?
I'm doing it this weekend.
You've got time, you've got time, so get it done and get your stuff emailed over to Sarah. So,
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
I know Kathy's not here, it might be, I don't know. So I did change my password and stuff for plan, followed all the things. Now, every time I log in, it sends a code to my other email. So not just every time.
Yeah, it's doing
No, if it's every time, they're working on the every time piece. So it should only be like when if you get a new computer or you're in a vacation at Puerto Rico and it's like, hey, is this really you? It shouldn't be every time.
But it's also when you're logging out right now. It was an update that came yesterday. So they're
I don't
sending.
know. I mean, there's easy enough, it only takes a couple seconds, but it's just.
No, yeah, I 100% agree with you. And if that happens to me every time, I'm going to jump off the top of this building. So I feel you, and I'm on like the front edge of like hammering them out that this can't be the case. But I think it's just so KW got hacked pretty badly internationally. And so, it's a corporate company of 180,000 people, and the lawyers are like, you guys gotta do this. So they're just like figuring out how to make it safer without making everyone's life miserable. It's a kind of a balancing act. Now did Mike hear that? Now, just imagine if you had, like 130 people on your team across 6 states, and it was like the magnitude of the more people on there, the harder that is. So they're aware and they're working hard on it. So we do have our November calendar out, which it's weird because it's already the 12th. I don't know, this year just seems to be going really fast. And if you want to see a closer look, obviously there's the QR code. So scan now or forever hold your peace. We are going to highlight a couple of the trainings. And it looks like, just from an FYI standpoint, we might have some gift of time here, or if the MindRight group has a lot of upcoming listings, they can share them all. So we have Opportunity Knocks. Who can tell me what Opportunity Knocks is and what the goal is?
Connect with our industry leading teams and uncover what could be the next 7 years.
Oh, wow. It's impressive that you read it from that far back. So what does that mean in like real English? What?
Winning a team.
So if you're curious about joining a team, what about if you're curious about adding people to your team? It's more of like a job fair for realtors. So if you're interested, or if someone you know that is, maybe a bartender or a nurse, or they're thinking about getting into real estate, this would be a really good event to send them to. It's this Friday from 10 to noon, and it's at the Whitefish Bay office. Looks like, okay. That was like my question. So it's at the Whitefish Bay office, and you've got, I thought that's at Lifetime Realty, the Luvine Realty, Lifetime Realty. You've got all these different groups here. And what it looks like, if you've been to one of these, it's, MindRight has a table right here, and they've got their little their little visuals and their little, brochures and handouts about what makes Mind Right awesome. And then I'm standing right here and I've got our visuals and I'm like, what are we doing? And then I gotta make sure that I'm like, we have our value more defined. And then you got a team there and a team there. So someone can literally walk around and just visit with each team for 2 to 3 minutes. Every team has a different value prop. Jeff, your team, what's your value prop? Jeff. So very good at prospecting and accountability. You're going to get a lot of, you're going to get a lot of support. He's going to be there right with you in the trenches. So every team has a little bit of different value. So if you're just curious, even if it's not now, something for the future, you can go. It's completely free. Any questions on Opportunity Knocks? I'm glad I asked that as a question because, I could say it thinking everyone gets it, but it's good to ask as a question. So, staying on that topic, what would the budget mastermind be about? Like, who would benefit from this? Every realtor ever?
Mhm.
Who can explain what you'll learn if you go on this Zoom?
How much
Somebody
money you
else
put away for
needs
your
to-
taxes, how much money for marketing.
Okay,
The budget model.
the budget models.
Stay organized.
So, yeah, so this is your P&L. This is all the money that goes in. Does anyone else have money going? You get your GCI and then you look in your bank account and you're like, where the hell did all that other money go? Anyone else think that? If you're on my team, don't raise your hand. Just kidding. So this puts every dollar you spend in a bucket. So you get your P&L, you just get really, really good about the metrics and the money of your business. This one is on Zoom. It's an hour. I'm partnering with Steph Minnick, who is a top coach for our company, a national coach. She's local out of the Milwaukee office. She works for with the Falk Rubin Gallagher Group. Really excited to have her. You want to know I'm excited to partner with her? Because last Friday she sent me the agenda. She's like, hey, what do you think about this agenda? And then yesterday she's like, hey, what did you think? And I'm like, well, I haven't looked at it yet. So she's just very it's like a good blending of both worlds. Whether you're brand new to the budget model or a seasoned pro, come at one because we're going to explain it. We're going to break it down. There's going to be 2 tracks for next year. So we don't ever want to make sure if you're experienced that you're feeling like, oh man, you're being held back, or if you're new, it's overwhelming.
Yeah, that can be recorded.
Yes.
Same time as the.
So I'm competing with Gary Keller. No, I'm competing with the other one.
If you're a new agent too, and you have not even closed one sale, so you're like, you don't feel like you need to be part of it, you need to be part of it, like even more. And you'll want to be part of it, so that when you start killing it in the sales department, you know how to manage your money as opposed to trying to do it on the back end. So set yourself up for success. Use the gift of time that you have in front of you now to learn how to run your business successfully like a business, and you'll thank yourself.
Yeah, we've had a couple people starting with no sales and then leading, like Alex Dinamarca started right away. Nicole is solo agent that's doing really good things. So it's not just for the big teams or anything, it's for anyone. A couple more trainings and then we're done talking training. So we do have something coming up on November 18th at 11. This is about the home warranty and how to order it and what to do and answer all your questions and talking through a portal. It's presented by Jenny Klug. It's only 20 minutes and it's a Zoom. So you're walking through how to put in an order, sending an invoice, view all the previous orders, tracking orders. It's just something to just, it's a thing and it helps market properties. Ooh, buy dirt. How to list and sell vacant land. Anyone be interested in knowing how to do this? So the land people and CompTIA Financial are partnering to do a training on this on next Tuesday at the North Shore office. So at 10:30. If you want to see a different type of meeting, different type of vibe, their meetings are at 9 a.m. at the North Shore. So you could go to their office meeting. It's like checking out a different church. But go to their office meeting and then go to this. So now you got your whole little morning planned.
Just to be clear though, we don't want you to leave her.
No, we like you. And fun stuff. We got the holiday party. Please come. We all work really hard. We should have a night to have fun. And so that is the 5th of December. All are welcome. And Lisa, the emoji's back.
She has stuff to say. Come on up, Lisa.
Lisa.
I'm back.
You're back.
Isn't that nice? Okay, so we're gonna start like right after the team meeting on the 10th. We are gonna have a food sign up this year because we wanna make sure you all eat. But it's not coming out until after Thanksgiving, which is like, cause we don't wanna overwhelm people. We have Pie Day yet, we have Thanksgiving. So that'll give us about a week to plan, and it's just like snacks, heavy hors d'oeuvres, little bite-sized things. We're not having a sit-down meal. So just to start thinking, anything goes. I mean, whatever you can bring, that's what we're
Anything?
gonna eat, pretty much. Yeah, and if you'd like, if you have a special like beverage, whether it's just soda or some type of beer or some alcohol or whatever, if you'd like to bring it, at the end of the evening, you can take it back, whatever's left. So, you know, you can, it's not like a donation and I'm rounding, up extra bottles of food. Although last year, I have to admit, I did end up with an extra bottle of your stuff and Pat's. Some stuff, I ended up with 2 that weren't mine. I don't know how they got in my
Merry
box,
Christmas.
but yeah, so it happened. But anyways, yeah, so just please mark the day. It'll be really fun, and we're gonna do some type of white elephant, but we're going to like tweak it a little bit so it goes much faster. So, but it'll be fun. But anyways, just start thinking some little itty bitty thing you could just bring for food. That would work. Okay, then. Thank
It's
you.
5 o'clock somewhere.
Lisa's birthday that day.
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. So, presents are, well,
Mandatory. All right, cool. So who's got some coming soon? Some new listings? Yeah. Are you sure? Sheila?
We have one in Delayed right now in Burlington, three bedrooms, 1.5 bath. We're roof, siding, windows. Inside needs a lot of work. 74.9.
Mind right?
Yep. So we have one going live this Thursday. It'll be listed at 199. It's gonna be on 65th and Lincoln. It is a single family, 1 story. 2 bedroom, 1 bath, about 1,000 square feet, 2-car garage detached with a full basement.
Anyone else? Nicole, don't be so shy. No.
I've got a doozy on 84th and Cold Spring in Greenfield. It's a 3-bedroom, 1.5 bath tri-level. It's like almost 2,000 square feet with an attached garage. It needs work, specifically the basement. Well, it's an estate. We're listing next week, $299. I don't think so. No.
The work basement needs work, meaning like foundational work, or okay. Do you have a quote?
I had Gaddish there. It's 30,000. By far the worst basement.
You know what that smells like? Money. Opportunity. Any others? Everyone's like doing this, like, and I'm like, Gustavo, your new listing. Just because you're like,
Oh,
you're yeah. Jay?
2-bedroom, Greenfield condo.
Where is it?
Greenfield.
Gotcha. I thought the city was La Casa.
How much is, oh, it's,
Tina just sold one there too, so
how much are you listing it for?
199. There's a brand new rec room. What's the parking situation?
Better than Tina's.
One car garage. That's fireplace.
Don't talk to him, we've got a buyer. Or, I think.
Oh, you.
All right, guys, thank you for coming. You got 15 minutes extra time. And, you know, text Brittany, congrats, or thank you. And that's all.